I know you've heard the story of the just really sad story of the woman who's going to be hung in Sudan because she's a Christian. She's pregnant. She's been in jail. She was arrested when she was just 3 weeks pregnant. And she apparently gave birth while being shackled to a cot in the jail. She was sentenced to death because she won't renounce her Christian faith in front of a Sudanese court. And the court says she's Muslim. See, the hashtag yes all women apparently doesn't apply to women who countries demand that they be of a certain religious belief. She was raised as a Christian. Her Muslim father left. She married a Christian, and he has U.S. citizenship. She was charged with adultery because she married a Christian. They refused to recognize her marriage because the guy's Christian to whom she married, who is from Sudan as well, but is now a legal citizen of the United States. Maybe if he were a dreamer, maybe if he was an illegal immigrant, then maybe the state, that maybe this administration would intervene. She has a 20-month-old son as well who is imprisoned. They won't let him go because they say, nope, he's Muslim, even though his parents are Christian. She's declared that she was raised Christian. She refuses to convert to Islam. She says Christianity is the only religion she has ever known. She says, because her father was a Muslim and took off, and her mother was a Christian and raised her. She says, I was raised a Christian from the start. But they say, well, your dad was a Muslim, so you can't leave the faith. So now they're going to hang her. They're going to let her wean her newborn daughters, who are just a few days old, and then they're going to hang her. And they're not going to give the father in the United States his son back. She's been shackled at the legs. Her husband was allowed to visit her for the first time earlier this week. He was able to visit with his 20-month-old son, who they will not let go. Because the son's grandfather was Muslim, they say he's Muslim, so they're not going to let him go. Isn't that lovely? Where's the embassy? Where's Sudan's embassy here in the United States? Where are they? I looked at their Twitter account. Nothing on this. They've given wedding documents. They've given birth certificates. Nothing. Doesn't care. They've given DNA tests. Nothing. They won't let that man take his son home. The American embassy in Sudan has denied his assisting him. They refuse to help him. They're going to kill his wife and the mother of 2 little children because apparently we don't live in a modern era and she's not allowed to be Christian. Where the hell are all of these ditzy feminists at now? The ones out there screaming for free birth control. Where are you broads at now? Here's an issue for you to really, we could use, fire up that internet outrage machine. Where are you at now? Where are they at now? See, this is when you need some of these feminists to get up here and get angry, and they won't get involved unless they can get some publicity out of it. And maybe they feel like they won't get any publicity out of helping this woman who's going to be killed for no other reason than she was raised Christian. The Department of State, the U.S. Department of State, hasn't commented. The couple have been married for several years now. They're trying to do everything. The husband's trying to do everything he can to save his wife. Jen Sakai, who's the spokeswoman for the State Department, says she just doesn't have any details to share. Where's the State Department on this? Where are the feminists? Where's the yes all women about this? Feminists are worthless unless they can have some other action besides self-worship. I would be super impressed if they actually made effective change and got involved and did and worked to save this woman's life. Where are they at? Where were they at with the honor diaries? Nowhere to be found, because there are much more important issues for women today. They want to be able to get free birth control and abortion on demand, all of that. They want to get paid more in the office than a man. They want to, yeah. It's all about self-flagellation. That's what it's all about. This whole story with, it just is so sad. This whole story with Meriam Ibrahim will probably go on for, well, at least for another year. But as soon as her daughter's weaned, they're going to hang her. Where you at, feminists? We have Mailbag of Hate on the way. We've got Steven Crowder on the way. It's Open Line Friday. We talked a little bit about this earlier in conjunction with the hashtag #YesAllWomen. The Christian woman in Sudan, who I'm sure you've heard about, she's just had a baby. She was convicted because she's a Christian. Apparently, we don't live in the 21st century in Sudan. That's like a whole different plane of reality. She's convicted because she married a Christian. Her Christian husband was born in Sudan, but he's now a United States citizen. They have a 20-month-old who's also imprisoned because Sudan says no, because his grandpa was a Muslim and didn't raise the family and took off. He's Muslim. So they're going to hang her because she left Islam. No one in the State Department will do anything. Stephen, wouldn't this be, and maybe I'm just being crazy, but wouldn't this be an excellent time for hashtag #YesAllWomen?
You know, you'd think it'd be an excellent hashtag for a time for the hashtag #YesAllWomen, or really any time a woman gets stoned to death because she was raped by a man and actually had the gall to come out and accuse the actual assailant. Listen, anytime, there are a couple of things going on here, Dana. Important thing to note. People say, are you saying all Muslims are bad? No. Anytime Muslims take control of the law of a country, however, it's bad. It's bad for women. It's bad for gay people. It's bad for minorities. It's bad for anyone and everyone who is not purebred Muslim. Anytime Muslims are in control of law, not minorities who might be in America who happen to work down the street from you and they also happen to be Muslim, because you know what? They can't pass the kinds of laws that they would. Anytime Muslims get power on planet Earth and they have control over the law of the land, this is what you see. You see huge abuses of human rights, and namely women's rights. And liberals are conflicted because they have two ideals. They have the ideal of they want to separate everyone by gender, by race, but also political correctness and defending who they see as someone who is, I guess, some kind of a moral underdog, which is the kinship they feel to Muslims. So, no, they don't call to action. It's the same people who support Palestine against Israel, whereas in Israel they have one of the biggest gay pride parades in the world, and in Palestine you get off the plane with a lisp and you're hung from a noose immediately. The inconsistency is unbelievable, and I'm amazed that it's not discussed more often.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not discussed more often by women. I mean, this is a grievance industry. If ever you needed an opportunity to fire up the internet outrage machine, this is it. This is the time when these women could really make an impact. And it astounds me that the State Department has declined to do anything. Sudan's embassy won't do anything. Nobody will do anything. No one will intervene. And here these women are complaining because I honestly, Stephen, of which I am not making up, had a piece of hate mail through Facebook. They wrote on my Facebook wall that I was an idiot and that I'm part of the patriarchal problem. And then they said something about they didn't like the fact that man was in management. Hashtag #YesAllWomen.
Right. Now, you know, it's funny. Amanda Hess wrote a piece over there at the Slate, where basically standing on the graves of those who died, you know, in the Santa Barbara tragedy, and saying that this was a case of misogynistic murder. No, this was a case of a sick, twisted, murdering psychopath who also happened to say some things that were misogynistic. Misogyny didn't pull that trigger. A bad person did. And if we spent half as much time being concerned with, I don't know, right and wrong as we are dividing men versus women, we'd solve a lot more problems in this country. Liberals have actually come out and used this shooting to try and say it's really, there's a systemic discrimination against women. It's not true. If you want to find an actual place where there's systemic discrimination against women, go to Muslim-run countries where the systemic discrimination towards women is ordered by God. You might have some jackasses here in the States And believe me, you and I are conservatives. We're consistent. We're not fans of Macklemore and Miley Cyrus. We're the ones consistent across the board who say, hey, it's a bad thing to treat women as sex objects. Feminists want to use it when it's convenient and then condemn it when it's not. Here's the thing. The female empowerment movement that's come from the sexual revolution is of no value unless you are sexually attractive. So for women now, this is something we even deal with in the States, and this was written in the article, Dana, over at Slate. This, again, pivoting from dancing on the graves of those who died in a horrible tragedy to try and politicize it, this liberal writer went on to talk about objectification of women and equate it with threatening women. And her example for objectification of women was a guy at a bar hitting on her. Here's the problem, too, Dana. If we're going to discuss, just like last week we were talking about prejudice, we need to define what it is. We can't so broadly define objectification that any time a man makes a sexual advance towards a woman, no matter how appropriate it may be, we consider it objectification. Because if that's the truth, your husband objectified you when he made the decision to be attracted to you, and I objectified my wife.
I love it when my husband objectifies me.
I know he loves it, too.
I always love, because I can hear your eyes expand. I love it. But you know what I mean, though. I mean, my gosh. I mean, what do women not want dudes to be attracted? I don't understand. A man has to find them attractive in order to, I don't understand. They're trying to, I don't get it. Like, I just don't, I don't get it.
No, it's a problem. And the reason they do it, Dana, it doesn't make sense when you understand that they're trying to use language as a political weapon, right? In this column, this lady is very, very, very careful to say objectification and threats. Well, hold on a second. Objectification is a bad thing. If a man is yelling, groping, being profane with a woman, that's objectification. That's bad. But it's not the same as threatening. And then if you're including in objectification a guy hitting on you, well, now you're basically equating someone being sexually attracted to a woman, i.e. being a man, having a penis, with threatening a woman. And you couldn't be more off base. It's one of those things, again, and at the same time, Dana, we're kneecapping men. What's so funny to me is women talk about how, well, this whole column says, of course, because you have a penis, not because you do, but because I have a penis, Dana, I can't have an opinion, right? I'm not allowed to have an opinion on abortion, but have an opinion on women's issues. And I enjoy being a male, a white male, so I enjoy privilege, so I can never understand misogyny. Therefore, I'm a misogynist without even knowing it. That's the argument here. And the problem is, it also kneecaps men. It kneecaps men who are not being allowed to be men.
That's exactly it. I completely agree with it. Folks, you can find Stephen at louderwithcrowder.com. Stephen, I hope to see you again soon. I know you're
Thank you. So I will see you soon.
Your white privilege, whatever. It's always good to talk with you. Tell your missus we said hello. Have a great weekend, my friend.
I will go objectify her. Thank you.
Bye. All right, folks, quick break. Coming up, we've got